It is dark outside already, so I would say good evening, but you might not be watching this in the evening, so hello. I'm gonna start off with a short little show and tell. My brother got an Amazon return box with something that he had auctioned, and inside was this crow light. So we're gonna put this little crow light on the wall, and he's gonna be our new friend. But I want a name for him. Initially, in my deluded, sleeping, whatever mind, I was like, Christopher Robin. No. So I need some old world name suggestions. What should we name him? Okay, end of show and tell. Welcome on this little episode. We are going to, this could go into a long tirade, but we are going to make a piece of weird artwork. Weird is relative, okay? Human body with animal head. Let's pretend we want the head right there. And in case you're wondering what I'm using as reference, this, and I got it from a site that shares royalty-free old works from libraries and whatnot. I just found it today, so I'm not all that versed in everything about it, but I will link it down below for anybody curious. I saw it on a TikTok. A while back, I watched this movie, and I've seen some images before of like people with animal heads. It's nothing new, but the movie that I saw had a sheep gave birth to a human sheep baby with a human body and a sheep head. And the two adults that owned the sheep had been trying to get pregnant unsuccessfully or had a child and it died. I'm not sure, I don't remember. But the whole point was they decided to raise it as their own. And it's so weird the way they did this in the movie, but they show it as it gets a little bit older. This like toddler running around with a little sheep's head. And I'm not gonna spoil it, but the ending gets a little bit weird. Yeah. You'll just have to, if you can handle very slow, minimal dialogue movies, and you like things to be a little bit bizarre, it does get a little morbid, I would suggest watching that movie. Otherwise, if you can't handle that, I wouldn't watch it. I was trying to like mull over ideas, and I was like, I should do my own animal-headed person. And I've seen like cats, and I've seen the sheep, horse, you know. But what animal head should I do? That's the gist of the body for now. I'm gonna mess around with the background a little bit, and then we'll see what time it is, and then maybe work on the head, or I might have to work on the head tomorrow. You know what's kind of creepy about this reference is like there's this fucking window right here. I have to let this go, but when it's not a picture that I have taken or gotten full permission to use, I have the hardest time fully copying the image unless I'm recreating a specific picture. Like I recreated a Harry Clark picture one time. And while I'm kind of recreating this reference, I'm putting something else here instead of nothing. Because in the reference, there's no head. And when I was looking at that site, you know, I put in some search parameters. And this picture is what caught my attention. So if it caught my attention, that's what I'm gonna go with. And it was perfect because I had an idea to do the animal head. And there was no head on this. And I was like, animal head, right there. Really creepy line work things and like web stuff, you know, like little tentacles of darkness. So initially I wanted to do a prey animal, and then I was kind of trying not to do something super cliche, but in the end I kind of am, I feel like, but whatever. I'm gonna do a jackalope. So the interesting thing with jackalope is when I was looking it up, there is a theory that the virus, what is it called? Shope papilloma virus kind of contributed to the idea of a jackalope because it like forms wart-like tumors that grow often on the face of rabbits. Which, I mean, from the pictures that I saw, they're kind of like all over the place and they don't necessarily look like just antlers. But I could see how maybe a particular formation would make you go, whoa, what is that over there? Is that a jackalope? It's a jackalope. I think there are some taxidermists who jokingly put the two together in the 30s, if I remember correctly from what I was reading. Here's a random image of a rabbit with that virus I was talking about. See, it's got all those... Oh, it looks painful to me. Very inconvenient, very not cool. Something else I noticed when I was like looking up a bunch of different pictures to figure out what stuff looks like. I was looking up jackrabbits for the rabbit and for the jackalope. I was noticing that jackrabbits have long lashes. Also, because I was looking at, for a moment I was looking at antlers. And I was like, what is this? I was noticing that deer and rabbits have very similar facial structures. Okay. At this point in time, I'm going to not use any reference whatsoever and see what I come up with. I'm gonna go look in the mirror. Because sometimes you just see shit in the mirror so much easier. Alright, so immediately no. I didn't do it. Okay, there we go. That's the jackalope woman. I have a multitude of thoughts. The first one being is I did end up doing a little bit of a cliche situation, which I was attempting not to at first. And I kind of caved. When I started looking at jackalopes and stuff, and then I read about that virus, I got intrigued by the whole virus thing. Which, you know, maybe I should put more little twerks, little growths on the face, maybe. You'll see at the end if I do that. The other thing I'm thinking is that I am purposely left some blurred areas because it reminds me of those old, like, fake ghost pictures, the old black and white ones where it's just kind of like a wisp or a blur in the image, and I kind of like that idea. Part of me wants to just go with my hand across the whole thing and just blur it all out. I said a multitude of thoughts, and then I just gave you two thoughts. Were there other thoughts? Ghosty, blurry, I caved, the virus thing. I don't know. Oh yeah, and a name for our little crow friend. Okay, bye. Oh, welcome to the Jessi show. Jessi Noir. Do you ever wonder? I wonder. I fear I have ideas. Should I dye my hair black?